Zoners, this is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard. Youth the Woke coming to you live from the West Coast, and this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today, man, we've got our 2026 tight end rankings, and this is the first time, I think this is the furthest away we've been on rankings. Top 30? Top 30? So we got 30, there's 32 teams in the NFL. I do not have Isaiah likely ranked. He is a free agent. That's probably the only person I can think of off the top of my head that's not going to be ranked. Hey, we also have our news and our brews. This is our live show, so you can ask questions, comment, tell me how stupid I am in real time. This is your chance, dog. So our news and our brews coming up in a minute. Seahawks are going to be a lot better, or still going to be good next year, Jason. But before we get into anything, we need help, man. Blink twice. Jason, please tell the public how they can help the show.
Yeah, if you guys go ahead, please smash a like if you're new to the channel. If you go ahead and subscribe, it pushes us out to more people. We're also on the radio with the Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. And we got a thank you button on all of our videos if you're feeling friendly. Back to you, Tyler. Tyler, what is your little writing on your, I don't even know what you call it, your little screen mean?
Salad and breadsticks?
Yeah.
You're talking. I asked you where you're going. You said you're bragging about going to Olive Garden tomorrow, Jason.
What is wrong with Olive Garden? I feel like it's highly underrated.
Is it? I think it's rated as exactly where it should
Dude,
be.
the first time I ever went to Olive Garden, I didn't know what to expect. And you know, like they put that big bowl of salad like on the table.
Yeah.
Well, the waitress actually she put it like in front of me, and in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this whole thing is mine. So when she walked away, I just grabbed a fork and I was like eating out. And everybody was waiting, like, yo, Jason, are you gonna share that? I'm like, dude, is this for everybody?
I'm just thinking,
they're like, keep it, Jason, keep it. You already slobbered all over it.
The first time I went there as an adult, because I never really went, I was like, I just didn't stop the cheese coming. I didn't know it was my job to tell you when to fucking stop putting cheese on my salad.
You're all looking at this guy and be like, dude,
we're just locked eyes, and he's just cranking this thing. Hey, Olive Garden, though. Good for you, Jason. Okay, let's get into the news and the brews. First up, I like the NFL report cards. Did you ever look at those, Jason?
No.
Really? It's like the Cowboys locker room was whatever. Anyways, A+s all the way down to D's and shit like that. Well, the owners did not like it. They're filing a grievance. It's against everything. It's against some policy of theirs. No more report cards. You cannot tell the terrible owners that they're terrible anymore, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what the report card's really all about. I know the last 3 years, San Francisco's gotten an F in physical training or something like that. And does anything ever change? I don't know. They're always injured. So I'm like, whatever, dude. It's just like my report cards from elementary school. There's an F, but fuck it. I don't know. I'm still here today.
Where were you going with that?
I don't know where I was going with that, dude. I was going to talk about my job, my 9 to 5 where I'm working at. So I'm like, I made it, but I'm like, did I make it?
Oh, yeah, dude, totally.
I was like, I don't know if I actually made it. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah. I went to college just to make $55,000 a year. It's amazing.
I know. Dude.
And I owe 60 grand. What kind of world is this? How much do I owe to college?
I've been in school 3-4 different times. And I don't know why I keep doing that to myself.
Like and subscribe. Deebo Samuel's contract, Jason, void. Speaking of the 49ers, he is counting against the Commanders cap, but he's a free agent now. There was an interview with George Kittle lately, and he's like, hey, man, we're bringing back the band. We're bringing back the band, even some old faces, maybe Deebo Samuel. So, Jason, Brandon Ayuk is no longer. They have Ricky Pearsall. They've got Juwan Jennings. I think it would really mess with Juwan Jennings if Deebo Samuel went back. Deebo Samuel is not a number one wide receiver. He proved that last year when Terry McLaurin went down. I think he's a good wide receiver too, even though I don't like drafting wide receiver twos. So I'm just saying, man. Let's see. Zach Ertz, if he comes back, I will be targeting, even though he's old as shit. And also, I think they drafted a pretty high rookie tight end. I'll have to look at that.
Commanders?
Terry McLaurin, Jason.
Ben Sinnott?
I was just going to say Sano. It was Ben Sano.
It's Sinnott. Yeah, he's a second tight end drafted after Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, he was hyped up coming out of college, and he's like probably year 3.
Yeah.
So maybe a sleeper there, Jason. So anyways, Deebo Samuel free agent. Derek Carr confirms interest in the NFL return under 2 conditions. He is healthy and a Super Bowl contender, which means he's not going to be picked up by anybody, Jason. So Derek Carr, eat it.
He's like, if the Seahawks are looking for a quarterback, I'll come back and play. I'll do it.
It's like, just think about the Super Bowl contenders, man. Like, I mean, maybe if Matthew Stafford retired, I still wouldn't like that. All right, Derek Carr. Oh yeah, I already said it. The Seahawks, Jason. I just want to say this: all of the Ravens, their linebacker, the defensive coordinator from the Ravens or whatever, is going to be the linebacker coach for the Seattle. The old passing game coordinator is going to Seattle. And then also another person from Ravens are going back to Seattle. So hey, Seattle, I know they lost a lot of offensive coaching. Their defense is still going to be insane next season.
And there's still a young team.
Better, even better, man. So like they are the defense you want to draft high. I don't do that. That's what you're going to be looking at there.
Yeah.
All right, dog. I'm going to start sharing our rankings. Do we have anybody say anything?
Let's go. Olaf saying, "What's up?"
What's up, Olaf? You're the man, dude. If it wasn't for you, we'd be dead in the water. All right, here we go. Hope you're ready for this, Olaf. Here we go, Jason. We got Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. First column is the tight ends' names in order of rank for the show right now. Not mine, not Jason's, but the average of the 2. First column is my ranking. Second column is Jason's rankings. Third column is the average of those 2. We got points per game over here just kind of show you. I mean, I probably should put Trey McBride in his own tier, but I need to know who the quarterback's going to be over there. Free agents. Are they a free agent or not, dude? Kyle Pitts is a free agent. I'm ranking him as he's going to be on the Atlanta Falcons again. Then I've got the questions like Trey McBride, quarterback, man. Like Brock Bowers, that offensive line and quarterback. I need to know some things. It's going to be Mendoza. I get that. But they really need to fix that offensive line for me to really invest high in Brock Bowers. So that is it, Jason. In the first tier, I don't know. Would you put Trey McBride in his own tier or not?
Dude, Trey McBride he's pretty crazy, man. He like blows everybody out of the water. But Brock Bowers he missed a lot of games last year. He could have probably be up there as well when it comes to stats and stuff. No, I would still do like McBride and Bowers are probably in the same tier.
It's dark out here. Somebody's mowing their lawn. Yeah, I had to watch those Raiders games. The amount of deep shots that were taken towards Brock Bowers, man. His ceiling is still like Trey McBride's ceiling. It's just he's got a lower floor because of the offensive line and quarterback.
I do got to say though, like if Brissett is,
I was just going to say that
the quarterback again, dude. Trey McBride's first read targets was 111 compared to Brock Bowers that was 71. So
right.
It's like 40 additional targets where just like Brissett is like, I'm throwing it to this guy no matter what.
Yeah, so that's why he has a higher floor. But Brock Bowers' targets were like, I would like to see his average depth per target relative to Trey McBride, dude. It was insane as far as I was watching the games.
Yeah, but Trey McBride was also like first in yards after catch for tight ends as well.
Oh, there you go. So, Jason, I mean, you could argue if Brissett comes back, it is for sure Trey McBride is in a tier of his own. He gave you a higher advantage, almost more than any other player in any other position. You had 4 more points on a weekly basis than any other tight end. So that was a huge advantage. Trey McBride won people probably some leagues this year.
And
what's up?
Probably the most important thing is that he scored 9 more touchdowns the previous season. So
yeah. And that was all with Brissett, dude. It's like, that's why I need to know. It's like him and Kyler Murray do not do well in the red zone. Kyler Murray is super short. Like, what is he seeing in that compacted field, with all the traffic and everything? I don't know if that plays something in there, but he was connecting very well with Brissett in that red zone. So
yeah,
everything I've heard from sports insiders, radio, all of it is that Kyler Murray is gone. So there should be a taller quarterback in there.
Get him out.
Should never paid his ass. All right, Jason, you got somebody at number 3 we'll talk about later. that I've got a huge issue with. But hey, Colston Loveland, Jason, you and I both have him at 4. He was one of my guys before the season started. I really thought he was going to take off way earlier than he did. In the preseason, he was used as a red zone target. That's all I ever heard about. I thought he was going to catch 10 plus touchdowns. He had some huge boom games at the end. Was probably a top 3 tight end over the last 5 games. And even into the playoffs, man, this guy was the main target. So it's like you look at that and you like to, and it's like, hey, Amon-Ra St. Brown played in the middle of the field for Ben Johnson, took off at the end of this rookie year, and then came back and was a world beater. So Colston Loveland, as far as rolling the dice on number 4, it's scary. I still would like Tucker Kraft and George Kittle if they were healthy. But after this, dude, if Kirk Cousins was coming back and playing quarterback the whole entire time, I would have Kyle Pitts over him. But all I've heard about is Kirk Cousins is gone now. So Colston Loveland, Jason, is kind of like the highest upside, safest bet with all these injured players and Kyle Pitts losing his quarterback.
Yeah, but I like what you say, where it's like maybe the first roll of the dice tight end, if you're going to try to pick one early. I mean, his target share last year was only like 16%. But yeah, the first season, we got to hope that's just a wash. Or the first part of the season, we got to just hope that's a wash. And then we saw what was going on at the end of the season. And I believe that's going to continue on. I think they finally found the groove. I think, what's his name? Caleb Williams is like, okay, Robadunze, not connecting with this guy anymore. And I got this beast in the middle of the field. I'm going to start using him. Ben Johnson likes to use tight ends. I do like him at number 4. It looks like we both do. But, yeah, there's still a chance. I mean, it's Caleb Williams, dude. I think that's like the biggest fear for me is that it's Caleb Williams throwing him the ball. And like a completion percentage of like 55%.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get better. You saw how much he got better over the year. Now he's got that to build on. I do expect him to get better. And then, oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say about Colston Loveland. It doesn't matter. But hey, Jason, number 3, I do have Harold Fannin over Colston Loveland. Did you see that David Njoku's not going to be on the Browns?
When I did these rankings like 3 weeks ago, I did not see that. I saw it today, actually. I heard that he's not going to be on the Browns.
Rankings? How would that affect the rankings?
Oh, absolutely.
Would he be number 3?
I could put him at, I mean, I got George Kittle. George Kittle's going to be coming. He's going to be hurt. So I could definitely put him at number 3. I think I would feel more confident having Harold than Loveland going into next season.
Yeah, me too. So, I mean, so you and I would both rank Fannin over Loveland, second-year tight ends. I loved Harold Fannin. He was like I told everybody to like get him. I spent all my money on my free agency. Then he was terrible, and then he took off. Okay, so that sucked. But anyways, Harold Fannin without David Njoku, who are the quarterbacks going to be? We have Todd Monken as a head coach. Todd Monken made 2 tight ends viable over there with Lamar Jackson. So I actually kind of like it for tight ends right now. And everything I've heard about, I did hear that he is actually interested in Deshaun Watson, but that Shedeur Sanders is going to get his chance to start. So Shedeur Sanders, man, with Harold Fannin, that's like a lock right there for chemistry. And then you kind of get some questions in there with, say Deshaun Watson comes back. That does throw a wrench. I'd probably take Colston Loveland over that. But Harold Fannin should be a top 6, 7, 8 tight end worst scenario, Jason.
Yeah, dude. I think Fannin could be like a lock top tier tight end this year.
Year 2, yeah. But I would prefer if Shedeur Sanders was the one throwing the ball. And then, hey man, I would have Tucker Kraft ranked over Harold Fannin. He would literally be almost in that Trey McBride, Brock Bowers tier because of the way that they used him as a deep threat in Green Bay. But he tore his ACL halfway through the season. I need to look at his health. So I have him ranked 6th. You have him ranked 5th, Jason. So he was in that top of the second tier. He averaged the same amount of points as Brock Bowers per game. So he's got amazing upside, a little bit lower floor because of the targets on that team and the way they spread the ball around. Romeo Doubs is a free agent. Say Romeo Doubs leaves and somehow Tucker Kraft comes back healthy. He will be the number 3 tight end on this list probably. But right now I'm assuming he's injured, and I'll be moving him up or down depending on when he starts playing.
Yeah, dude, Tucker Kraft killed it. His yards per route run was like 2.56. I was like second in the league. I remember earlier in the season, I had this guy for a trade for candidate because he was like in top 5 in design plays and like top 2 in end zone targets. So I'm like, this guy's getting design plays at the goal line. I was like, we got to get this guy on your team. I think he did well for another 2 games towards ACL. That was heartbreaking. Tucker Kraft fan. I don't believe Romeo Dobbs is coming back. I think depending on his health, I think he can have another great year. I just wish he got involved more. 18% target share. I wish I was in the 20s, which is why I don't think I could put him in front of like Harold Fanning. I think the highest I could go with him would probably be like 4th overall.
Yeah, I'd put him over I just for that upside. They use him like George Kittle. He's like George Kittle light. It's like maybe not the most targets, but it's like, dude, the average depth of target in the touchdowns, insane. So Tucker Kraft, depending on how healthy he is, he will move up or down. Hopefully up, Tucker. And then, hey, Tyler Warren, Jason, you pushed for him. I pushed for Colson Levin last year. You looked like the right person by a mile. And then Daniel Jones got injured, and we saw the floor for Tyler Warren. Riley Leonard is what a lot of insiders are saying might get the start for next season. And if he starts doing okay, they might just keep him in there to see what happens because the quarterback class for after this season, it's like a lot of people stayed in, David Moore and a lot of other people. What's his name, dude?
Archie
Manning. I mean, there was like 5 people that they were talking about that they really like for the quarterback class. So, hey, Riley Leonard might just go out there and start a bunch of games, and Tyler Warren will not be that great. So we need to look at Daniel Jones' health here. If Daniel Jones comes back healthy, dude, Tyler Warren has a chance to jump to the top of this tier.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Tyler. At the beginning of the year, he was great. But what this is also telling me is that if it's not, situational for him, he's likely not going to play well. And that situation needs to be like Daniel Jones because they had Phil Rivers, they had Leonard, the other guy, did not do anything. We need Daniel Jones. So if it's not Daniel Jones, like he's highly influenced by the situation, and if it's not Daniel Jones, I don't think he's going to be the guy this year.
Yeah, he still averaged 11.1 fantasy points per game, but man, he was going off in the beginning. He was like in that 15 points per game territory.
I think he like scored all his touchdowns with Daniel Jones, and then it was like nothing after that.
Oh, dude, it was terrible. Yeah, because I had him in another league, and it was just like, do I even start this guy this week? And it's like, how do you know? It just sucks.
He did have 3 rush attempts inside the 5-yard line, which is more than Bucky Irving.
You telling me I get Bucky Irving and I don't know, some other tight end to the same player? Sam LaPorta, Jason. I did not believe in him after this last year. And he came back and was doing very well. Dude, he had some huge games in a row. Then he got hurt. It was his back, his neck, his back, and his cracks. So, whatever. Sam LaPorta, Jason. Hey, if he comes back healthy next season, I will be all about it. Do I think that offensive line is still going to continue to kind of regress? I do, unless they start hitting on some offensive line draft picks again. So not great there. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown's the only player I really, really want. Sam LaPorta, though, Jason, if he comes back healthy, would be my second most targeted Lions player, probably.
This guy is probably the guy I will be targeting first this year. And it's just because of the new offensive coordinator that they have.
Oh, because he came from Trey McBride, yeah.
Yeah, what's his Petsy? Yeah, so this guy knows how to utilize the tight end. I mean, yeah, he came back last year. He was averaging 2 yards per route run, which is great for a tight end. I have a feeling he's going to kind of fall back because of the injury, and that's what I'm hoping for. And that's why, if that's the case, I will be targeting him.
So when I think about the Cardinals, they're not afraid to run the ball when they have a decent running back that's healthy. They run the shit out of it. They can keep a tight end going. So that's Sam LaPorta. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown. What is Michael Wilson's strength, Jason, was route running. Amon-Ra St. Brown, route running. So you can see, Trey McBride and Michael Wilson, man, we're getting 20 fantasy points a week. So I do not like Drew Petzing as a hire, but in the skill positions that actually matter, he has this. I can see why the Lions hired him, because they probably saw Michael Wilson as a lower end Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And then tight ends, dude. So
Olaf, he's about this pick too. He says kind of like the LaPorta bounce back year with the new OC from Arizona.
Yeah. Good call there. And then Kyle Pitts, he could literally, like, all these people could, I mean, that's why they're in the same tier. They could all be like a tight end 3 almost, depending on what happens in the offseason. So all I've heard about is that they're not keeping Kirk Cousins, right, Jason?
Right.
So I should just say fuck that and keep him ranked at 8 or 9 or 10 or 11. But man, it's just it's so hard after you saw what happened. New coaching regime, and Kevin Stefanski, man, you saw what he did with tight ends. It's like running backs and tight ends. So I want to see what happens with Kyle Pitts. I think he's worth a roll of dice. But he is like, I'd have, a bunch of players over him. He is at the bottom of this tier for me and you as well.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, and then hey, George Kittle, dog. I got him ranked 14th because he tore his Achilles like near the end of the season, dude. Like, I don't know what to do with that. Jason, you ranked him 3rd. I'm like, I don't know what to do with George Kittle tearing his Achilles. So yeah, this has the biggest movement potential. Say he's going to start week 1. I'll move him into the next tier, but he's not going to make the green tier like he should. But yeah, how do you feel about, why did you rank George Kittle 3rd, Jason?
If this is a guy that has the biggest swing in this, I have him at 3rd, but if he's not playing because of the Achilles, he's going to drop, and he's going to drop, and he's going to drop and drop. This is what I see, dude. And it sucks that this is imprinted in my brain. I don't like it. But do you remember when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles?
Yeah.
And then it was like 3 months later, there was a potential that he was going to come back because there was a little bit of a chance for them to make playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, if it was just all talk or whatever, but I hate that I heard that. Because I'm like, if Aaron Rodgers, if that is true, and Aaron Rodgers was able to do it, giving George Kittle a little more extra time because there's an off season, can this guy be ready week 1?
Yeah, he's gonna be full of peptides, that's for sure.
Peptides.
And people are gonna be brushing his hair. I need to know when he's gonna play, dude. And like, quarterbacks are way different. I mean, I know that I think it was his right Achilles, right? Was Aaron Rodgers. So you could maybe compare it, but I'm like, dude, a tight end running routes. I don't know with that Achilles, and he's an older player. I say he's older. I don't even know how old he is. I know he's been in the league for a while, so.
I think Aaron Rodgers is like 10 years older.
I know. And hey, so George Kittle, pay attention. Dallas Goedert, Jason, was like, what was he? Was he like tight end like 7 or some shit in points per game? 6.
He was 6.
Tight end 6 in points per game, dude. So I have 12.3 fantasy points per game. That's amazing. That's like as much as Kyle Pitts, dude. I'm talking about Kyle Pitts going off being, he was like a top tight end last year. So Dallas Goedert, nobody was doing well. I mean, AJ Brown kind of was it. Dallas Goedert was the most consistent pass catcher for the Eagles last year. He is a free agent. All that I saw from Philadelphia insiders was that they're going to try to bring him back. So if he comes back, maybe a 2-year contract, and he retires after next year, I will be drafting Dallas Goedert as a safety valve.
This guy is going to have to go late for me to get him. And that's just because his touchdown rate last year was too high. It was like 18%. That's like the same thing that happened to Mark Andrews the year before. So there is, I mean, he had 11 touchdowns on like 82 targets. It's like,
but it was just like, if you watch those games, man, like
I did.
He was the red. Yeah, like everybody's explosive. But one thing out of the red zone, he was getting the ball, man. And I was like, but new offensive coordinator, Sean Mannion, never called plays. So
I just know how difficult it is to keep that touchdown rate high. So if AJ Brown is gone, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. they're talking about they're going to try to trade AJ Brown for a second round pick, and if the Patriots would do it, we'll see how that goes. Reunite with Mike Vrabel because he said he loves him. Jason, Jake Ferguson, I traded for. He could be tight end number 3 on this list if one of the wide receivers are injured, right? CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens. So I ranked him as George Pickens is coming back. But there's a lot of NFL insiders, Jason, that are saying that the Cowboys right now are trying to think about if they should, because they gave away a 3rd round pick to get him. They're going to franchise tag him, and then they could trade him away for his 2nd round draft pick. So you could have George Pickens for a 2nd round draft pick. You could have AJ Brown for a 2nd round draft pick. If you were the Patriots, which one would you rather have?
Oh my God. Brown probably.
I would just go Brown because he's familiar with Mike Vrabel. Other than that, I think I'd rather go Pickens.
I just feel like they're both cancers for the team.
But it's like at one point, dude, we were talking about George Pickens making so much money. Like he was the top, like the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL, dude. And then CeeDee Lamb came back. He had some bad games. But hey, Jake Ferguson, if Pickens leaves for free agency, I will be ranking Jake Ferguson way up here. So that is the thing there, Jason. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he where's his little stuff that I have? He still had over 100 targets, man, and he was top 10 in touchdowns last year, but I think all of that came in the span where CeeDee Lamb didn't play. He had a lot of games where he scored, not a lot, maybe like 2 games where he scored 2 touchdowns.
I was loving it, Jason. I traded for him because I needed my tight ends weren't working out. And he was huge, but as soon as, people came back healthy, he was little. It was not great. Then Oronde Gadsden, Jason, I was super happy that you had him ranked kind of high. Number 12. I will be targeting this guy as my tight end number 2 if I can get him. Hopefully he falls a little bit. I do have some other players ranked ahead of him that have a way higher floor, but Oronde Gadsden, with the way that Mike McDaniels throws the tight ends, Jason, holy shit. We got Darren Waller. We got other people over there just soaking up targets. So I actually really like Mike McDaniels with Oronde Gadsden. I think that he's like one of my candidates, Jason. If I had to pick one of these players that will jump up into the next tier, Oronde Gadsden would be it probably.
We've been doing fantasy football together for far too long because if I can't get Sam LaPorta, if there's a chance that he does not fall back to a spot that I like, Gadsden was going to be the guy who's going to roll the dice on because listen, dude, we know what this guy is capable of. He just needs a healthy offensive line. If that line remains healthy, like that whole Chargers team is just going to explode. I want a little piece of it. Gadsden, I think he was like, this might need to be fact checked, but I think he was actually like number 1 in average depth of target, like just getting hit downfield. Herbert needs a time for him to be explosive downfield. That's the problem. That's why he needs that healthy offensive line. I do believe if you could get this guy where he's going, and that offensive line can stay healthy to protect Herbert. Herbert, I think, got hit most out of any quarterback last year. It was insane. He had no time. If he could get time next year, you roll in the dice on this guy. I believe this guy could even go into the top tier of like probably Fanning and Loveland.
That's what I'm saying. He could jump up to the top of next tier out of anybody on this list. Because like I'm like looking at Goater, if he's healthy, yeah, dude, like that's like it'll be a good value. George Kittle if he's healthy, of course, but he'd be moving up in our rankings. But Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson, Dallas Goater, like all those guys are just safe options where Oronde Gadsden could really take off and with the high upside. Then speaking of Hunter Henry, Jason, what was this fool? Was he tight end number? Or was this guy 13? I mean, 15, 13, 14, 11 fantasy points over the last 3 games. He had huge games, but then he would shrink. But he was still a great tight end, man. Josh McDaniels with those tight ends. I don't know who's going to replace him. So I like Hunter Henry as number 11. Like if I was looking for super late and I just needed a tight end 1 for my team, I would love to draft Hunter Henry. You had him ranked 16. But wide receiver free agency, I need to see what they're going to say. They get it, AJ Brown or something like that. It is going to take some targets away from Hunter Henry. But still, I like him as a very cheap wide receiver 1 next season.
Yeah, he's going to win you some games. He's going to lose you some games. But
Yeah,
I do like 87 targets, 7 touchdowns. He was in the top 10 in first read targets. So Drake May's like, I'm going to this guy no matter what.
that's right.
But now we're getting into the. Oh wow, you have him in number 11.
Well, yeah, and they're. I was thinking about their schedule. Like it's going to be much more difficult. But like their away games against like Seattle and all these with people with good cornerbacks, it's going to force the issue to Hunter Henry a little bit more. So I actually kind of like the schedule for Hunter Henry. I don't like it for a lot of other skill positions on that team, like Drake May and everybody else. But I think that Hunter Henry will have to catch a lot more passes next year.
Yeah, we got Fantasy Meatball in here.
Fantasy people.
They love your name. They're all classic name. They want to ask about a rookie tight end. Actually, said where would be a good landing spot for Pitts to have a chance to move up to number 7?
Oh, damn it, dude! I remember when I heard about them being a free agent and was like, I read about it and I was like, oh my god, that would be a perfect spot. I mean, if Kelsey retired, could you imagine Kyle Pitts on that team, man? Like
that would be kind of crazy.
Like that would be my number 1 destination. And I still don't. I thought Kelsey was out. I don't know if he's still just trying to stay in the news cycle, but if they could get Kyle Pitts on that team, dude, that'd be insane. I think they're going to focus more on offensive linemen and shit like that, and a running back. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that would be my number 1 target, Jason. I'm just kind of thinking about like a lot of teams have pretty young tight ends that I like. Now, again, Washington would he be an upgrade over Ben Sano with Kyle Ertz with Ertz leaving, Zach Ertz? I would like that as well, but I don't think they would do that. So, and then Theo Johnson's good on the Giants. I like that.
That's what I was thinking. The Giants, but Theo Johnson.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson. I mean, yeah. So everybody else off the top of my head, I don't want anybody from the Steelers. They already have that giant tight end.
You got 3 of them over there.
Miami, I don't want anything to do with Miami. I'm just trying to think of some teams that with no tight ends.
Olaf is saying Goddard is a free agent. What if he went to the Eagles?
Oh, if Goddard? Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. So if he went to the Eagles and they got rid of AJ Brown, that would excite me, I think. How would you feel about that?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm trying not to fall into the Pitts trap. I'm not trying to fall into the pit.
So really, the best thing possible is for him to go to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because, you can look, it's like Houston. Like, I just look at some of these lower ones. Like, I wouldn't want to, man. Seattle, AJ Barner's good. Evan Ingram's going to soak up that contract for another year. Huh. So, yeah, I think Kansas City, if Travis Kelce retires, would be amazing.
He was thinking about Carolina, but doesn't Carolina have that Sanders guy?
Carolina's got the, oh, my God, why can't I think of his name?
Sanders?
What is it? Sanders? Yeah, because it's Theo Johnson.
Sanders, maybe?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want anybody from Carolina anyways, dude. Ted McMillan's 6'5". He is a tight end, and I couldn't trust his ass. So Jalen Coker is what I want. He's my tight end that I want from Carolina. Until Bryce Young retires. And
then, Tyler, do you know that tight end from Oregon? His name's like Kenyon.
Yeah, he's a top-ranked tight end this season.
Explosive guy, like Sadiq.
Yeah.
If you had to put him on this list, that's the second question. Where do you think you would put him?
Oh, if I had to put him on this list? So you would start with probably in the green. So like I really like Dalton Schultz. But man, Houston just pisses me off. And plus there was a lot of injuries on the for the wide receivers this year and stuff. So I need to see what happens when everybody comes back healthy. But I really do like Dalton Schultz. I think he would be in this tier, Jason, because I love Juwan Johnson. Like, he's so safe. Hunter Henry, Oronde Gadsden, like, all these guys are going to do better than probably a rookie tight end. But once you get into this, Jason, Dalton Kincaid, I could argue, should be in the upper one tier up. But once you get into this, there's huge question marks. And I'd probably start putting rookie tight ends outside of the top 15, pretty much. And then
I think the green, and if I was going to take, dude, it's like looking over Juwan Johnson's stats. It's like, wow, this guy was actually pretty good last year.
I love
look, you
Juwan.
have him at number 9. Yeah,
I talk about him all the time. I was talking about him all the time, man. He was on my waiver show till the end of time last year. So I was just like, he's number 2 over. He's been tight end number 3 over the last 4 weeks, and he's on your waiver wire. It's like, is this insane? It is. So moving forward, Juwan Johnson, Jason, Kellen Moore is still there. We got Tyler Shuck another season. So we do need to look at who they're drafting. But Juwan Johnson, to me, like, if I'm looking for a cheap tight end, I already talked about that with Dallas Goedert and Hunter Henry. My first cheap tight end that I'm trying to get would be Juwan Johnson.
Also, I'm writing back in the chat right now. I heard Sean Payton might be trying to shoot or draft a rookie tight end this year.
Oh, I bet he would be, man. He's been drafting wide receivers, been running back. I mean, they just have not been hitting. Dalton Schultz, Jason, if you go back and look at him, dude, what was he? He was, I want to say he was tight end. Dalton Schultz, 14. But, I mean, he was getting like 18 points, 13 points, 12, 22 points, 14 points, 12 points over the last like 6 weeks. So he really took off. He was on the waiver wire show as well. And his targets were insane, man. So high floor there. But again, I need to see what's happening when everybody comes back healthy. Travis Kelce, dude, where can you rank him? I get it. He was like tight end 9 or something points per game, maybe even better than that. Let's see. Where I have it.
He was 8.
Yeah. Oh, so 11. He's still almost averaging 11 or 12 points per game. But is he going to play? I do not know. And then Mark Andrews, Jason, I literally think could be jump 2 tiers. I think he could go from right here all the way up. Lamar Jackson was injured, man. He was not right last year. I actually kind of like their hires this year. It's new, it's fresh. Who knows what's going to happen? And if you're telling me that Isaiah likely is a free agent and he leaves, they extended Mark Andrews, gave him like a 3-year big contract. So, in my mind, man, Mark Andrews, if Lamar Jackson looks anything like Lamar Jackson at a camp or whatever I'm hearing, maybe preseason, Mark Andrews will literally move up at least a tier, and then I will be trying to draft him to perform a tier above that. So this guy could jump up a ton. I know everybody hates Mark Andrews right now, and he had some terrible drops, but Lamar Jackson, man, was so bad last year. It's not going to happen again. We had Lamar Jackson ranked top 5. Mark Andrews will be so much better if Lamar Jackson plays like a top 5 quarterback. Hey guys.
Yeah. That's a nice little hot take.
I'm telling you, dude, like, I know people are pissed off at Lamar Jackson, but as soon as I saw Isaiah Likely's a free agent, I was like, oh, I need to set my sights on Mark Andrews late. So I still need to see what's going on with Lamar Jackson and all this shit. So I have him ranked 17th, Jason. So do you.
If he could get his receptions back up like when he was younger, for sure. Absolutely.
Dude.
Right now, he's kind of touchdown dependent.
He was touchdown dependent, and he regressed. But Lamar Jackson was so bad last year, dude. So just look for that to change. Their schedule's going to be a lot better. I mean, they were bad this year, dude. They're going to get that play schedule. So see how that goes. Britton Strange.
Dang. So Fantasy Meatball is saying that he thinks the Saints are going to go for Love. So they spent a fairly highly draft pick round 3 on Vele.
Are you talking about
I think the running back.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love.
Yep.
I think Jeremiah Love is going to be moving up a lot in the rankings. We'll see where I don't know where the Saints are. I mean, I'm sure they're drafting in top 3rd of the league, but Jeremiah Love might go really high now. People are comparing him. They're saying that he is a Bijan Robinson type prospect. So, and running backs are now kind of like making their comeback. We'll see if he makes it to the Saints.
That would be
Jason,
crazy.
Yeah, Britton Strange came back from injury.
I like Devin Neal.
I do. I like. Hey, Devin Neal's going to be a super early, super deep sleeper for one of our shows coming up. 14 fantasy points, Jason, for Britton Strange. His first game back from injury. He had missed like 2 months. 13.5 points, 15 points, 18 or 17 points, man, when Trevor Lawrence was going nuts. So Britton Strange, if you want to take a roll of the dice, see who they draft, see what's going on with their tight end position. But hey, if you're looking for somebody cheap with a high upside, he is somebody that I will be gambling on if I wait on tight ends for my tight end number 2.
Yeah. I feel the same way because he's definitely a gamble. He only had 60 targets last year, 15% target share, only 3 touchdowns. He just had that span when Trevor Lawrence was going off where he got majority of his scoring done. So we will need Trevor Lawrence just to continue that excellence into next year.
Oh, it's Jatavion Sanders, Jason.
Jatavion.
Jatavion. Bone Thugs and Harmony, Notorious B.I.G. I think it's called Notorious Thugs. Go check it out.
Yeah.
I work out to that song, dog.
Armed and Dangerous.
I also work out to DMX. Hoo. Just like, yeah, I like that. All right, Dalton Kincaid, Jason. Hey, I had to eat it on Dalton Kincaid this season. Jason forgot to rank him, so I put him at the end. Dalton Kincaid, though, man, had a 22-point game, 17, 15. And now, he did have some bad weeks, but he actually performed when Dawson Knox was still available. I did not think that was possible, Jason. The GM, or no, Joe Brady's talking about how he still believes in Keon Coleman. Barring a Keon Coleman breakout, I think that Dalton Kincaid's going to be a decent tight end again next year. I mean, I talked so much shit about him, how you should not ever draft him. I think I'm okay with it now.
I think this guy was the Mark Andrews from last year because he only had where do I have him? I have him actually ranked as 13th. No, 16th overall on my 2026 rankings. But his what am I trying to say? His yards per route run was the highest at 3 for tight ends. But this dude didn't even get 50 targets last year. 14% target share, 5 touchdowns, 26 first read targets. That's like it's kind of crazy because it's saying that like with his low volume, he did great. He exploded. He was very efficient. And that's what I'm afraid of. It's like when it comes to these, I need more volume because it's hard to stay that efficient in the National Football League.
It is, but look, think about that offense. They're going to score a ton of points with Josh Allen. Who's he going to throw the ball to, dude? Shakur is not a great red zone threat. And then you got James Cook who catches passes. But it's like, dude, Keon Coleman needs to bust out. Like, he's the one guy that can really make Dalton Kincaid regress on touchdowns. Other than that, man, I see it happening again. I mean, Josh Allen's going to throw for 30-plus touchdowns or 25-plus touchdowns again. So where's all those going to go? That's why I just kind of have, like, I just ranked him higher. And then, hey, dude, I put TJ Hawkinson so low. 26. You put him 15. I'm a Vikings fan, man. I had huge worries about JJ McCarthy after all the reports out of the camp. So, yeah, and barring JJ McCarthy needs to just do a 180. Otherwise, TJ Hawkins is going to be useless again, dude. So, you could not start him. I have him ranked so low. How do you like TJ Hawkinson, Jason, this year?
Dude, I just putting him where I think I actually have him at 16 because I have Kincaid at 15.
Okay.
And I'm only doing that just because we know what he can do. You know, he was a PPR machine, and hopefully they fix something with JJ McCarthy. And I think he actually, like, JJ McCarthy, like, never looked at him last year. He had 66 targets with only 30 first read targets. Like, JJ McCarthy didn't give a fuck about him. He was like, dude, I hope your kids starve. And that's the problem. I hope he starts going to church and he starts caring about others and will start feeding him and his family.
Hey, Theo Johnson, Jason, he gets Matt Nagy now as his offensive coordinator. I mean, Matt Nagy's worked with I think he did pretty okay with Cole Kmet, I guess. Not really. And then he had Travis Kelce, so that he knows a lot of plays that feature the tight end as a first read. So I don't know about Theo Johnson. It could be amazing. It could be god-awful. He could be a starting tight end for you, tight end 1, top 12. It could be top 30. So how do you feel about Theo Johnson, Jason?
I mean, I think he's a good sleeper this year.
How do you like Matt Nagy with him?
I don't like Matt Nagy.
I don't like Matt Nagy either.
No, I do not like it. Who was for Matt Nagy when he was with the Bears? It wasn't
I
Cole
think it was Cole Kmet.
Who was the guy before Cole Kmet? He used to wait. Was it Cole Kmet? Did Cole Kmet used to play for the Eagles? Then
Greg Olson. Greg Olson was the Bears tight end, and then I think went to Cole Kmet, and then it went to and now it's Colston Loveland, the future they call him.
Fantasy Meatball. He said something. I wanted to bring this up too. He says if Kim K can stay healthy, he's a beast with touchdown upside. Apparently, he also played the whole season with a torn PCL. Did you hear that?
If that's true, that kept Ricky Pearsall sprained his PCL and he couldn't fucking play, dude.
Yeah, so I forgot about that. I actually heard about that today, and I'm like, if he could get that taken, huh?
He had like his best season, so I'm like, maybe that fool needs to sprain his PCL a little bit more.
If he could get on the field more, I would, dude. He would nuts.
Hey, if they got rid of Dawson Knox, I'd be like, hey, you're right. It's just Dawson Knox just caps his upside. That's all. And then let's see. But thank you, Fantasy Meatball. I didn't even think about that. That's great information. David Njoku, Jason, depending on where that fool goes, could be great, could be bad. Say Travis Kelce retires and they get David Njoku for cheap. That's amazing. We just kind of went over some teams with tight ends needs. And then Mason Taylor, dude, we thought he was going to be great. I think they're bringing back Justin Fields, dude. So I'm not liking any of this. I would not be drafting Mason Taylor, even though I think he's a great talent.
Well, yeah, I'm staying away from the Jets. But Tyler, slow down. Fantasy Meatball just tipped us $4.99.
Holy shit, dude.
Round of applause for this.
And cash.
We like them.
That's a spicy meatball, Jason.
Happy Valentine's Day. I can take my wife out to dinner. Olive Garden. Get the big salad.
Took her to Cane's today, man. We raised that bitch. Hey, Fantasy Meatball, dude, appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. Really, really, really. Like, that makes a huge difference, man. I'll be thinking about this when I go to sleep tonight. Thank you. Sometimes I'm like, man, this show, we're never gonna make it. And then somebody I was like, holy shit, man, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Colby Parkinson, Jason, I put ahead of Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson was the tight end that I like, man. They drafted him in the second round, for God's sakes. Colby Parkinson, Jason, I do understand why you hate him, is because you pushed him so hard.
Yeah, he had the 6 great games, and then I'm like, okay, let's go for a 7th game. Great matchup. Half of the fantasy football world is saying the same thing. This is dead on going to happen, and it did not. And I still think about that. I'm like, damn, bro. I was like looking at because I was thinking about Ferguson, and I was like, let me go back and look at Parkinson's stats. And I remember those 6 games where he just like dominated. And he just had a 20-point game. Then I was like, let's start this dude tonight. He got 4 points, 2 drop balls. Anyway, I don't think he's going to be there next year. That's why I have Ferguson kind of taking his spot.
Yeah, so you got to pay attention to who's there and who's not. I was going to put like tight end depth on all this, dude, like because they've got like 4 usable tight ends, so it's just scary. But some tight end from the Rams are going to do well. It's a Russian roulette, dude.
Yeah.
Then lastly, I've got Chigo Okonkwo on here. He actually had some decent games. They did draft Gunnar Helm pretty decent, like with a decent draft pick, and he was showing out. Every reports at a mini camp that he was like a really good tight end. And now, Jason, he is a free agent, so he could go to the Chiefs. He could go wherever, some other places that we were talking about. So depending on where he goes, he could go up and down in these rankings. I like Chigo Okonkwo as a talent. I think he's kind of up there with David Njoku almost, man, as far as talent. So depending on his situation, Jason, he could go up a lot for us.
Yeah, sorry. This Fantasy Meatball is funny. He's all, you're welcome, guys. I never had 2 guys be so happy for $4.99. Hey, that means I get like $2.49. I get $2.49 out of it.
And 2 guys to split it, and we got to split that thing in half. Oh, I need to send you your money, Jason. Holy shit.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Also, then Olaf here, 64 tight ends had a top 12 scoring week in 2026.
Yeah, it wasn't a very consistent. There wasn't a lot of consistent tight ends out there, Olaf.
That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Well, every year, man, like tight ends were rough this year, man. It was rough. And then, like 3/4 of the way through the year, we actually got some consistency out of it. But it was, I mean, even Jake Ferguson, who I traded for because of the tight end situation was rough. He fell off in the second half, and other players came back. So very inconsistent tight ends that play this year. Would I draft a tight end high next year? Nah, probably not.
Same.
So I will still roll the dice on a tight end later.
Also, Face of Meatball, he wants to know, he has Kincaid and Pitts on the same team. Who would you have as your starter?
Oh, Pitts. Pitts. Shit. But they are dangerously close, dude, to being like the same player. Depending on who the quarterback's throwing to him. Because it's like, both of them were drafted in the first round. I know Pitts was supposed to revolutionize the tight end thing, but Dalton Kincaid, man, was amazing coming out of college. And he has not done shit in his first years. Kyle Pitts didn't do shit for the first years. So, I mean, really, depending on where Kyle Pitts goes, you can make an argument for both. But off the top of my head, I would probably take Kyle Pitts going to a new team.
Yeah. I said if this was happening today, they both ended up with 5 touchdowns on the season. But Kyle Pitts had 118 targets compared to Dalton Kincaid's 49 targets.
But he lost that quarterback that gave him. I mean, his high target games, man, was with Kirk Cousins. That's my only issue there.
Right.
So
I'm like, as of right now, he's still on the team. So if we were doing this today, I would still go with Pitts.
Yeah, and Pitts, new offensive coordinator, Jason. Joe Brady's still running the show up, and so I mean, you could expect Dalton Kincaid to probably get. They just need to focus on him more. That's all. He needs to be more focused to the offense.
Yeah, his touchdown rate was like 11%.
And then
I think,
Jason,
I think we just got to see where Pitts is going to end up at.
And then on this bottom tier, I do have Evan Ingram the latest because it's like, dude, he's so old. If he was going to pop, I think he would pop this year. It's not like he's going to go in there and suddenly all of a sudden understand the offense. Bo Nix was not as great as I thought he was. Troy Franklin kind of, was taking a lot of that Evan Ingram shit. So Evan Ingram, I'm not crazy about. AJ Barner's always going to have big games and small games, just like Sam Darnold. That defense is still going to be amazing. They're losing their offensive coordinator, so AJ Barner might be more involved. We need to look about Cooper Kupp. I think that Cooper Kupp said he's coming back. So then Gunnar Helm, though, Jason, is the only player I like out of this tier. He's going to be on his second year. Okonkwo is a free agent. If Okonkwo leaves, which I think he will with a new regime, Brian Daboll, dude, I love Cam Ward with Brian Daboll next season. And if I was thinking about, I like Chimere Dike. I think Chimere Dike would be my number one target as far as the pass catchers from there. But Gunnar Helm would be up there as well. So for like a tight end you could get in the super late round that could literally be scoring 10 plus fantasy points a game by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think in about like I don't know, a month or two, we should do some like dynasty players to trade for, because this guy's kind of been on my mind a lot, Tyler. He's kind of been on it a lot, all right? More than that Santa Barbara pizza. You know what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah, because I see if Chig is gone and with Daboll there, like he could be the new. How can I do a pun here? He could be the new guy at the helm. For tight ends. Yeah. I don't know.
How can I do it? How can I do it?
How can I do a pun? I was purposely trying to do one. But
I was thinking the gig is up. I was thinking the chig is up.
The chig is up. Helm. Gunner's at the helm. I don't know. But hey, I like this guy.
Even ranked, I mean, I know I said top 30, but even the 29th tight end here, Jason, you could get and have some upside. So
last pick, round 16.
Yeah, right. I like the upside on a lot of late tight ends. And then I like, as far as my tight end one, Jason, I like all the way down Juwan Johnson. So we did this last season. I don't know if you remember this, but we're like, dude, there's like 13 tight ends, 14 tight ends that I wouldn't mind being my tight end one. And then we went into the next season and they all, like 3/4 of them sucked. So It's happening again. All right. Right now, I'm looking at this being like, dude, there's so many tight ends. I could wait on tight end. So it's gonna make me draft tight ends late once more. So hopefully, I get me. I don't even know what I really want though, Jason. Oronde Gadsden and maybe Juwan Johnson, two like high floor players, and see what happens.
Yeah, I would like to see where the Saints are by training camp, because I think they're going to get another weapon for wide receivers in the draft. I feel like they need it. But if I have to say, if there was one guy I'm looking at this and I'm uncertain about where I have him ranked, it is Juwan Johnson, because this guy, he was pretty crazy. I think he was top 12 of points per game, 1.76 yards per route run, 102 targets, 73 first read targets. I wish his touchdowns were up, but I think that's a Tyler Shook thing. But still,
29 years old, so he still has like 2 or 3 more really good productive years left too.
This is a guy who he's probably going to climb my rankings. I don't feel comfortable having him at 19.
All right, dog. Hey, Fantasy Meatball, thank you so much. Olaf, you're still the man. Appreciate everybody stopping by, man. Please. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up, man. Hopefully we earned a subscription. Let us know about your tight ends, your top tight ends, the tight ends you're targeting down in the comments, because it might change my mind, man. We have a long time to think about this, but still. Jason, please send us out.
All right. So next Friday, we'll be here at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Come join us, have a brewski, talk shop. Maybe we'll do a Dynasty episode. We could do those now. We could do those now.
Yeah, you do a statement you made that a question, Jason. All right.
We do those now?
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys watching. This is a Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.
Deuces.